Hey guys, this is Austin. I was literally in the middle of working on a video on hacking when my credit card got hacked. So I think this is a great time to talk a little bit about cybersecurity, and a huge shout out to Lastpass for sponsoring this video. Great timing, guys. So I've been keeping all of my information safe in Lastpass for years, way before they ever reached out and wanted to sponsor a video. I think like a lot of people, I used to use a couple of passwords across all of my sites, whether that would be for Twitter or for my bank account. However, with Lastpass, you can easily create completely custom and random passwords for each and every individual site and keep them all locked up behind a single password in the Lastpass vault. So even if one site gets hacked, none of the rest of your logins are going to be vulnerable, and that's available on the free plan. Step up to Lastpass Premium, which I've had for like 4 years now, and you get better two-factor authentication options, the ability to easily share out your logins, and it's only like $2 a month. Best of all, it works basically across all of your different devices, whether it be phone, tablet, computer, whatever. So Lastpass is legitimately something that I use every single day, so if you guys want to give it a try and help support the channel, the link to check it out will be in the description of this video. When it comes to getting hacked, there are a lot of ways that it can happen. So maybe it's something simple like you open a fishy email attachment, you're visiting a site that you probably shouldn't be looking at. Recently though, these hacks have become much more ambitious. So take for example Equifax. This is a credit agency that recently had 143 million people's information leaked. And this isn't like small stuff like your phone number or address. This is like really important information like your social security number, which makes it very easy for identity theft to happen.
With growing fallout this morning over its massive data breach.
The biggest and most significant yet, possibly putting 143 million Americans at risk.
So back in March, a major vulnerability was found in Equifax's backend, and it wasn't fixed until the end of July, meaning that for months, about 1/3 of the US population's information was wide open for the taking. This is hardly an isolated incident. So only a few weeks after the Equifax hack, Ccleaner had their own issues. So Ccleaner is a very popular utility to allow you to clean your computer. However, for a short time, the legitimate version was replaced that you downloaded from their site with a version that was loaded with malware. The scary part of this is that there was actually no real way of telling that what you were downloading was actually malware and not the proper program. You're going to the official site, you're downloading it, installing it, everything looks completely legit, and the program even worked. However, in the background was a serious virus. So the popular DVD ripping tool Handbrake had a very similar thing happen. For a period of 4 days, the legitimate download was replaced with a version that had a Mac-specific version of malware inside of it. Even worse is that hacks are no longer confined to just software. They're hitting close to home. Literally. With products like Amazon Echo and Google Home being brought into more and more households, these companies are getting closer and closer to our personal lives than ever before. Now this can be a good thing. So it's nice to be able to walk into your house and tell Alexa to turn the lights on. Maybe if you forget to lock your door when you leave, you can just do it straight from your phone with a smart lock. And stuff like Nest security cameras will give you a much better sense of security when you can see exactly what's going on inside your house. But like all good things in life, it doesn't exactly work all the time. And like a lot of people fear when stuff like the Amazon Echo first came out, there is a way to now hack this. If you peel back the little rubber pad on the bottom of an Amazon Echo, you'll see a series of contacts. So using these, if you have a little bit of technical knowledge in about 10 minutes, you can actually turn an Amazon Echo into a listening device. The upside is, as long as you don't have a super nerd as an enemy, this is not an easy hack to pull off. Not only do you need that technical knowledge, but you also need to have actual access to the Echo in hand. And to Amazon's credit, they actually have removed this vulnerability from the most recent model. The real issue here is when there's an Echo in a public place. So take for example the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas. They have an Echo in every single room, and all it takes is for someone to hack it once and they can listen into the conversations in that room pretty much forever. Alright, so what can you actually do about this? Well, the first thing to understand is that there's no way of keeping you and your data completely safe. If you applied for a credit card 5 years ago and the credit agency gets hacked, too bad. I'm probably never going to know how my credit card got compromised. It could have been something simple like being scammed at an ATM or gas station, or maybe some site that I used the card on was hacked and I just didn't know it. But there are some things you can do to help protect yourself. The easiest thing is to just check your credit. So if you live in the US, federal law guarantees that you can get one free credit report from each of the 3 major agencies per year. On the digital front, it makes sense to have some kind of antivirus and keep your devices up to date. So that includes those Windows updates that you've been saying no to for the last 6 months. You keep your browser up to date, your phone, all of these things are constantly getting security updates, and they can really save you when these things come up. Threats like this are never going to go away, but as long as you're smart and keep an eye on things, then you should be fine. So, have you actually ever gotten hacked yourself? Let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you in the next one.